Hey everybody, and welcome back. My name is Sue and I'm from OML Embroidery, and today we're going to start a new adventure, and I'm going to shake it up a little bit. We're going to do shorter videos packed with information, but it'll give you guys enough time to absorb it, of course. Lila, I hope you had a wonderful birthday, Lila. You are going to love this series too. And I'm going to change up the software today. I'm using Hatch 2, Wilcom Hatch Embroidery Software 2, which is fantastic. Chris Yost, hello. Hello to everyone, of course. I hope everyone had wonderful holidays and a happy new year, although we all had to do it differently. I hope it was still good. We had a lovely time. I did rest, I'm happy to say. It's a little bit hard to get back at it, so yeah, we missed everyone. We missed our get-togethers and, just everything. So we're going to do it different, shake it up, different software. So even if you don't have the software that I'm using, like I said, I'm using Wilcom Hatch embroidery software, and I'm using the digitizer level of it, which is the top level, and that's the level you need to do digitizing. And I'll use my E4. I will, of course, go back to my Perfect Embroidery Professional because I like working in that. But I've also got Embrilliance, which will be fun to do, and PEDesign 11. So whatever software you're using, it doesn't have to be Hatch or any of those. Whatever software that you're using, and I should say digitizing software, you can do anything that I'm doing. You just maybe have to do it a little differently. And what that does is that helps you learn the software faster. So if you don't know where your running stitch is, you're going to find it. Or your shapes, we've used shapes a lot, you're going to find it. Each one of the digitizing software has it. So on that note, let's start. So what we're talking about is connections, and I'm going to go through the basics with you guys on how to do it and why you want to use it. So the basics of connections is that you want to eliminate jump stitches. Now, let me be clear on this. If you have a PES or JEF file, you don't have editing capabilities. So it's not going to work on this, and it'll make you totally frustrated. So it has to be something that is in the native format. Oh, I forgot about Embird. Yes, I'll be using Embird as well. So it has to be something you created, because you need to move start and stop points and move in the stitching order, that sort of thing. So get that clear. It has to be a native one, no matter what digitizing software you're using. It can't be a stitch file, because stitch files are made for stitching. You have limited editing abilities, and I would never recommend you to do any editing in that. So, connections. So what we're trying to do in connections is we're trying to connect objects of the same color, because right now we have some really good really good jump stitches or trims. I'm sure everyone out there has created stitched a design, and it's just so trim happy when they can be connected. Now you need to hide them, but we're going to talk about that after. So in Hatch, here is the little, deselect. The little circle is the start and the triangle is the stop, but also a trim. So we can go into our node mode, which is called reshape. None of them are called node mode. That's just a Sueism. And we can double check that. Yep, right here. So it starts here and it stops here. So for this specific one, it doesn't matter where it starts because this is the first design in our series. It's 1, 2, 3. And you can see that over here on the right, 1, 2, 3. So how can we connect these ones to make it work? And we're assuming again that there's other things over top. You can't just create a running stitch. You know, it'd look terrible, but there's a million ways to hide it, and we're going to go into that later as long as we understand the basics. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go here to digitize, and wherever it is in your software, and I'm going to digitize an open shape, and all we're using for these connections are running stitches. So we're going to run from the trim or the exit point, and we'll just pretend that, you know, there's something there. We're not going to worry about that, to here. And okay, that looks terrible, but that's terrible, but nothing disappeared yet. Well, that's because it's in the wrong order. So order counts in this. You have to have them, you know, connect something that's connecting. So I've put it in the correct order. It's still not working though. Looks like we got a jump stitch back there. Let's check out let's go into reshape and see what's happening. Well, even though I did start and stop, it switched it around. So let's move it back there and see how that does. And that does perfectly. You see my trim disappeared? My trim disappeared. So we have a start and we have the trim here. So what does that mean? That means our object is connected properly, and it's going to stitch the first square, and it's just going to walk over here and stitch the second square. No stops, no trims, no nothing. And this is why it has to be in the same color. If you look at any of my designs or Dawn designs, they will have as many connections as possible. Now, understand that if there's nothing right in the middle here, you really can't make a connection because that's not coming out. That's going to stay there. So it has to be a hidden connection. So let's do that again. Let's do that again. Now, for this one, and no, I think that's pretty, no, I'm just thinking out loud there. So I want this just up a little bit. This is the angle. Start and then stop. So, okay, what do we need to do? We need to go open shape, and we're going to start here where the triangle is, and we're just simply going to walk over here and press enter. And let's make sure that worked. We still have the trim. Why do we have the trim? Why? It's in the wrong order. So we need to put it in the right order. And it's between the second square and the circle. And once I do that, look at that. So now the amount of trims we have is, for the green, is 1. That's all we have is 1. It's going to stitch square number 1, square number 2, and circle number 1. All in one and not stop. And that is what you want. So that's the basics of it. Same color, make sure you can hide it, start and stop points, and all in one. And that is what we need to do to make connections. Nobody likes a ton of jump stitches, and trims can wear and tear on your machine and take a long time, and also make the back an absolute mess. So this is what we want to do. So why use connections? Okay, there's a lot of reasons to use it. Jump stitches, trims, better embroidery design has less knots on the back. It makes it useful for everybody to use, and a well digitized design stitches out wonderfully. There's a big difference. A good design and a bad design. This is the difference. This is the key or the last puzzle piece to put into your digitizing. Now, some people plot out their designs, and we are going to work on this in the next coming months. This is going to take a while to do. Also, I should mention, if you haven't met Frank Bug, you should go meet Frank Bug, because he's awesome. Who's Frank Bug? Okay, he's a video that we connect and digitize. Is just like some kind of a bug. I don't know. I called him Frank. And it shows you, it's an hour-long class in 2 parts, and it shows you all of this. And it might be just a good idea to familiarize yourself with it. But it's on the OML Embroidery YouTube channel, and it's going to be really good. So, Lise Grandley says, I have met him. Well, Frank Bug is awesome. We also have Chester B and Betty Butterfly, and I'm going to incorporate them into this one. They are not on the website or on the OML Embroidery YouTube channel yet, but it's we're gonna work on it together when we're ready for it. So Chester B and Betty Butterfly. So connections, why? So many reasons. Someone said the New Year's guy was the New Year's gnome guy, Gnomeo. He was really well connected. Yes, he was. If you look at his hat, how it stitches out, can you imagine having all of the ends of the hat rows? With a trim, all the trims, all the time, all the noise. It's just a wonderful way, I think, it's how embroidery needs to be. So how do you do all this? Well, you can plot it out, or if you see connections that you can make, you can put them in after, as long as everything's in the right order. Now, this is pretty easy with like 5 objects and a little bit of writing. But if you think about all the objects in a larger design, it's going to get quite complicated. But we can do it. So let's go to the next one. Where to use connections. So connections can be used anywhere as long as you can hide them. And what can you hide them behind? You can hide them underneath satin, certainly underneath applique. It has to be the same color to make the connection, obviously. If there's no, if it's not the same color, it needs to trim so you can change colors, even if you're on a multi-needle machine. So in quilting squares, for example, you can hide the connection. Say this one is over here and you have the square. You can hide the connection just a little bit outside of the square. You can hide them under satin stitches. You can hide them under other objects. The only time you have to watch with that one is if, you know, you're hiding a black running stitch underneath the middle of a white stitch, fill stitch. Then you will, you know, maybe go around the outside of the circle to hide it. If you try to go right through, you know it's going to show through. So connections, anywhere, anytime that you can figure out how to connect them. So again, remember, there needs to be something to hide it, an object, a satin stitch, anything like that. So let me pause here. And are there any questions? Because I want everybody to get the basics down, so when I move on, that you guys will be able to keep up with me. Like I said, shorter videos, lots of information. And you may have to watch it again, but I want you guys to get the ideas. If you're truly lost, grab the New Year's gnome and watch him stitch out on your computer, and you will see the connections. How can I hide? Sabine, what can I do when I have two objects that are separated? How can I hide? Well, I'm going to show you guys the hiding afterwards. I just want the basics. I don't know how to do anything. No, it takes a long time. It takes a long time to learn how to digitize. It's a skill. And one of my objectives, other than getting 100,000 subscribers and a little plaque from YouTube, is to make better digitizers. So you're less frustrated, you're happier, you're more creative without using other people's clip art, and you make better designs. And that's what this is about, better designs. So don't feel bad. I mean, Anita Good Design, I love their designs. They are a huge company, and some people just like to embroider. They don't want to create their own stuff. So we don't need to worry. If you're just wanting to do the embroidery, like for example, Lynn, she'll probably not ever digitize. It's just not in her realm of what she would like to do. She just wants to stitch mug rugs, and she is very happy doing that. And there's nothing wrong with that. Not everybody's a digitizer. Not everybody likes it. So there we go. Let's go on to design number 3. Can you connect any type of stitches? What I mean by that is, can you connect satin stitches to fill stitches to, style stitches, or, even satin stitches to motif stitches? And the answer is yes, because each of these have a start and a stop point. And that's what we're interested in, start and stop points. So each will have a start and stop point. Now look, you can't see any of those circles and triangles, and it's because I have the true view or the 3D imaging on. And if you take it off, then they appear. So I toggle back and forth on these quite a bit. So, okay, let's look. Can we connect everything? And like I said, the answer is yes. All you have to do is, I wanted to take that off. So the circle is where it's starting, and this triangle is the finish and the trim. And I have it on closest join, and that's what this means, that, if it ended over here on the left and had to go all the way over here, that would be a long jump stitch. So I've got from here to here. And we're pretending that there's other stuff in between. So let's do what we did before. We're going to start the running stitch from the stop point or exit point, whatever software you're using. Each one of them will have it, and just click and hit enter. And that was the wrong stitch because I forgot to change it. We only want a running stitch. Thank you very much. Now look, it didn't do anything. Why? Oh yeah, we have to move it. So if you are doing afterwards, if you're doing your connections afterwards, then you need to make sure that they're in the right order. And it can be a little more time consuming, but we are going to work on that, how to plot your design out. That's partly what Frank Bug, Chester B, and Betty Butterfly are going to help you guys with. So now this one was the wrong way around. Let me undo that because I just kind of did it without telling you guys. So I could tell this was the wrong way around. Let's put on the true view for a sec. Oh, it doesn't show. But there's a jump, and all of my, actually there's 2 trims and 2 starts. So it's a quirk with E4 as well. It just changed the start and stop points. So you can change it back and everything's gone. So now it's going to stitch from this one. It's going to run right across, and it's going to stitch this one. So you can do that with, keep doing it. Let's do another one. digitize open shape. We're going to connect this to this. So again, remember, I forgot to change it again. Hatch. And then because I did it that way, it's going to do it backwards. Hooah, there we go. Got it now. Okay. So, now it didn't change. What did I forget to do? Say it with me. Come on. Move it. Just move it. That's all you have to do is move it. Now we've eliminated 2 jump stitch. Now remember, I'm going to teach you guys what you can do with all of these running stitches connections. Right now they're out in the open and that's not how it's done, but I am going to show you guys in later videos. We will be working on this. So from the start, the finish of the first object to the start of the second object, and hit enter, go back to your select, and we're going to move it up. And I remembered to change the type. Now it still didn't go away, so it should be in the right order. And so let's figure out what went wrong. Okay, so it did it this way again. That's fine, it's easy to do. And now I don't see any, so bump-ba-na-na. We have, it starts here, right on here where the circle is, and it's gonna go all the way to here. So how cool is that? That it's just going to stitch it the whole way and be done. Now you can always move your start and stop points. Actually, this one's wrong. It starts up here because it's a line. So I did that one wrong, and if I was looking, I could see that it's 2 lines. So, oops, all right, well, that's fine. Actually, what would happen, it would go up to it. So it's okay. It's okay. We all make mistakes on it. So, let's see. Don't be sad. There are many of us that don't have software or have any desire to digitize. Yeah, I agree 100%. Nobody says you have to digitize. It is a lot of work. It's a skill. There should be university classes for digitizing. There aren't. There's just me. So anyone who's frustrated in digitizing, send them over to my videos. Start at the beginning. I have hundreds of digitizing videos, but be happy with what you've got. It's better to know the embroidery before you digitize anyways. So watch designs come out, you know, it's good. So now I'm going to tell you guys that the running stitches do look bad. Thank you, Alicia. The running stitches do look bad, but can you see them here? Because I'm going to tell you that these 2 purple designs are attached. So it's going to start here and finish here. Now, how did I do that? I'm going to move the green out of the way, and look what I did. There is my connector. So it connects the 2 purples, and the green covers it up. Like, obviously this isn't a design, but can you get the idea of how you can cover it up? That's what it is. If you have, say for example, let's change this up a little bit. If you had a thinner rectangle going across, like the, you know, part of a design or whatever it is. Hello, there we go. See if I can make this straight. I'm just giving you guys basic examples, and we will apply it after, and we will be working on the application after. So I'm going to delete my connection. Now you can see the triangles back. Can you see triangles back, triangles back? It kind of sucks. So how are we going to do this? Well, we're going to go from this one. You know, I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit. Digitize. Yeah, it's on the right one. Open shape. It starts here, but I can change it to start here. And it's going to go across here. And I'll hit enter. Okay, that looks garbagey right now. I got to change it to the same color, the purple. And I have to put it in between. So now it's going to be connecting, except for I moved it around, but you can move it around. We want the stop point right there. And on this one, we want the stop point. Can we do this, please? No? All right. I'm thinking E4 a little bit, I guess. There we go. So we want it to start where we made the connection. Does not have to be right up on the edge either. It does not. It does not. So now we're connected. So it's going from one side to another. Yeah, I love it. So matching up your start and stop points to your connectors, either by moving them like I did, or putting them where they are, sort of thing. But see how that's a hidden connection, even with a smaller, thinner, like I had a big rectangle before, and now I have a thinner one. So that's what I'm talking about with the hiding. And like I said, there's a lot of ways to hide it. You have to make sure the stitching order is correct. So you have to really think about how things are stitching out. Now, if this second purple square was stitching out first, then you'd have to change the direction of the connection. And because the green bar is stitching out last, it's covering everything over. So, I mean, that works fine. Do you guys have any questions? Again, remember, this is just basics. I'm going to be throwing a lot of information at you guys, but we are going to take it slowly. And I'm going to try to keep the classes a little bit shorter. I know we enjoy the full hour, but nobody watches the full hour. So I'm just going to try to compact everything, and you guys can practice what I'm teaching. There's going to be no clip art until we get to Chester B and Betty Butterfly, and then I'll provide that for you guys. So are there any questions? Do you guys understand what I'm trying to tell you guys? I mean, yes, you can have 400 trims in a design, but this way is the better way. This is a higher level of digitizing, and I think everybody should know this. I think everybody should learn, and everybody should know this, and then you're going to be able to pick out for yourself good designs and crappy designs. Because if you auto-digitize, there is going to be no connections and it's a mess. We will need to look at it a few times. Yes, and this is why I'm doing this in a different format. My machine misbehaves with too many trims. Connections are good. Exactly. We're not meant to trim everything. And it's really joyful stitching out something that's properly connected. The machines like it. That's what they're made for. I know they have trimmers, and trimmers are great, but they're not meant to use it for all the time. They'll wear out. So there are times where you just simply cannot hide connections, and then you have a trim, and that's what it's there for. It's not a 100% thing, because you can't always do that. So if you guys have questions about the connections, I would say watch the video again. Go meet Frank Bug, the video. I can post a link if you guys want. I can post the link in the group, or put a card up in here so you can click on it, and we'll keep working on it. And this is the plan for a couple of months, and by the time we get done the couple of months, you guys will be much better digitizers, and it's going to be fantastic. Cindy King, I watched the full hour and rewatch it over again. We just love you, Cindy King. Thank you very much. Link will be posted in the group. Yes, thank you, Misha. I sometimes forget once I get done the videos, and if you have any connection questions, you can go down the list. Do you have a native embroidery file? If you're trying to make connections on a stitch file, PES, JEF, you're going to have a hard time, and it's going to be a mess. They're not connecting. Are they in the right order? Double check that. Are they the same color? Now that's something that really, Sue, it's red or blue, but there can be different shades of purple, and the program doesn't care if it's purple, it's the shade of purple. So that's another thing you can check on. Make sure they're the exact same color, and that'll make them connect, and make sure they're in the right order, and the start and stop points are all connected. So hopefully this has been a really good introduction to you guys. Once you get the hang of it, I promise you guys will be jumping up with joy and doing a happy dance once the light bulb, that puzzle piece, gets together and you go, wow. So thanks everyone for watching. I hope you guys like this video. If you have connection questions, head on over to the OML Embroidery University Facebook group, and I'll be happy to help you out. We'll be doing lots more, so get the basics down and then we'll keep working. So thanks everyone for being here. I really appreciate your support. Give it a like, give it a share. Make sure all your embroidery all your embroidery friends know about making connections, because it'll really help out in the end. So I will see you guys in the next video. Bye everyone.